Wonder Woman. To some people, the greatest movie in the DC extended universe. I wholeheartedly agree. This is truly the best movie in the DC universe. And why was it? Well, for starters, it was the only one that you could see with all the bright lights, and the cinematography was great. You could like actually feel sympathy for these characters, even though they aren't big characters. Even the littlest of characters are great. It is yeah, by far the movie that made us go, "Oh shit. Maybe the DC extended universe could do some good after all." And yeah, I thought that this was a well done movie. Some people focus a lot on the whole this movie was great, but that ending was awful. And I wholeheartedly agree. That finale was pretty bad, which is why I'm gonna get that out of the way first. That's gonna be the first thing I talk about. Um, and let me just start off by saying that I agree with everybody when I say that the finale was pretty bad. It kind of makes you forget about all the good things that this movie did do, and that is give us a good character driven movie with great awesome action scenes and a great story. But just the fact of how everything ended up to be, I think we could have had a final battle, but it wouldn't have to be your typical final battle. I would have taken off Ares of all people. If you took Nando V movies, I recommend you guys to check out that channel. But I recommend you to watch a video that he made called "Disarming Ares," and he did a fantastic job. I would have done that, and then follow the whole movie. This would have been the greatest, one of the greatest, if not the greatest superhero movie of all time, in my honest opinion, in the modern times at least. It would have been better than some of the stuff that the MCU has done. Um, and hell, maybe this would have been a worthy Oscar caliber movie, not like Suicide Squad. I can't believe they won best visuals. Ridiculous. Suicide Squad, come on. But Wonder Woman, uh for starters, the villains overall in this movie were pretty bad. Just the whole Dr. Maru and Eric Londendorf, who people predicted was going to be Ares, but no, it ended up being Sir Patrick Morgan, played by David Thewlis. The design on Ares was pretty bad. I mean, the costume wasn't that terrible, but the fact that they still gave him the mustache, they just got super lazy with it. It was ridiculous. It felt like your typical superhero movie. But even Patty Jenkins has admitted that she fucking hated the ending. Well, she didn't hate it, but she believes that that was the weakest part of the movie. And if she could have taken it off, she would have. But she's like, "Fine, I'll do it." Boom, here you go. And I truly agree that yeah, if you watch this movie without that, this you still would have had a fun. Because now let's talk about the good. I like that they show Wonder Woman training because not everybody knows the Wonder Woman origin story. Nobody that I know has watched the original TV series back in the like late 70s or 80s. I can't remember when that TV show came out. That it was goofy from what I've seen, and it was charming from what I've seen. But yeah, I don't know anybody who watched that show. I haven't watched it, and I don't plan on watching it. But I thought it did a good job of showing us a different take on Wonder Woman, a more serious Wonder Woman. I was afraid that they were gonna give us the invisible plane. We'll get to the invisible plane down the road. Um, when I review Wonder Woman 1984, but yeah, the story basically drives when Steve Trevor is running away. They're in the middle of World War, uh, and Steve Trevor kind of runs into them with the Amazons, So, you know, he is forced to be sent back, but Diana Prince is sent to go, or she chooses to go with him to like make sure he's safe, and they finish off this battle because she truly believes that it's Ares running this. Um, and overall, you just have like a super fun, thrilling movie. And one of the biggest takeaways that I could give about this movie, I was afraid that they were gonna do this, but they did a good job. That thank God they didn't do this. So this is gonna be the first good women-led superhero movie because Catwoman, superhero or Supergirl, whatever that was called. Yeah, we haven't had a really good female-led movie, and I was afraid that with the society that we live in today, it's just gonna be that just women, women empowerment. Look at us, and it's. I was afraid they were gonna do that. Thank God they did not do that because one of the strongest things you could do with a woman is to be powerful to everybody, not just women. Imagine that. Because I have been inspired by many women, and it was because of who they were, not because they were women. Like again, one of my biggest inspirations is Adrienne Bailon. A lot of people don't know this, but Adrienne Bailon, who is the singer of the Cheetah Girls, like her story of like her comeback to music is such a charming story, and I appreciate that story of hers, and I respect it, and it inspired me, not because I'm a woman or anything, but because I am a person. And that is what this movie should do. It should focus on giving us an audience of everybody. And I'm glad that this movie did that. Captain Marvel, I'm looking at you. But yeah, this movie did a fantastic job of balancing that out. That No Man Land scene was awesome. That was close. We almost got that. Like there's a scene where Chris Pine says like, "This is no man's land," and they could have easily had a scene where Diana's like, "Well, I'm not a man," and then she'll like walk in. Thank God they did not do that shit. Patty Jenkins did a wonderful job as like giving us uh, a powerful and strong Diana, and I really tell that Patty Jenkins really got inspired by the original Superman movie back in the 70s, because there's even a scene where all these bad guys are about to like shoot down Steve Trevor, and then Wonder Woman just does her like action and like saves him. That was an awesome scene. It is always great to see different superheroes in the DC universe, not just Batman and Superman. We finally got Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is literally the biggest name in the DC universe besides Batman and Superman. It's literally Batman, Superman, and then Wonder Woman. It's just how it is. And I'm glad that they finally did her some justice in the theaters, because I was afraid. Because look at it, Man of Steel was mediocre. BVS, some people liked it, some people didn't, and Suicide Squad was yeah. But this one we could all agree was a very fun thriller movie with a lot of fun, a lot of action. A lot. It almost felt like a fish out of water story, but it didn't rely so much on it being like too cartoony and too goofy. It did its job right of how they did it. One of my favorite characters in this movie, she was barely in the movie, but it was Etha Candy, played by Lucy Davis. She was the girl who helps Steve Trevor get dressed up, and it was funny when Diana's like, "Oh, and where I come from, they call that slavery," and she goes, "I like her." And this was a way of showing Wonder Woman be a more out of touch character, doing things and talking to other characters. Honestly, Wonder Woman carried this movie, helped out all the characters, because these aren't your typical comic book characters. The real only comic book character you got is Ares, Wonder Woman, and the Amazons. You could say the villains, but I didn't even know who the fuck those guys were. Um, but I like that she helped out those little characters be more relevant. The people that she was with in the war, when they're just sitting down talking and hanging out. That dance scene with Chris Pine and Gal Gadot was great. Steve Trevor did a fantastic job. Chris Pine could finally do stuff outside of just Star Trek. This has proven that he was a great actor. I always thought he was a great actor when he did Hell or High Water. I said, this guy should be doing more other roles, and sure enough, he did Wonder Woman. And but I want to see him do more things. I want to see him go above and beyond. I think he should be. I mean, obviously, I don't think he should win an Oscar right now, but he should start going for those kinds of movies. I guarantee you, I think he's a great actor, terrific actor. Same with Gal Gadot. Right now, I could believe that Gal Gadot is too. She's gonna be the same way Daniel Radcliffe is in the Harry Potter series. Well, people will only know him for that. But maybe Gal Gadot could prove us wrong. I mean, she did start off as the model from Fast and Furious, and now she's Wonder Woman. That's another thing. I thought she was gonna be terrible, but she was fantastic because she was definitely one of the weakest part, if not the weakest part of the Fast and Furious franchise. But she proved us wrong in here. Um, so a lot of people, I hate when Hollywood does this, but when they barely have a character and they are like the main focus of the promotion, like it's like starting Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, and Robin Wright, and Robin Wright was barely in this movie. She was in the beginning. She did a terrific job training Diana, and but yeah, I hate when Hollywood does that when they just promote someone that's barely gonna be in the movie. But I get it; it's Hollywood. It's little nitpicks that you can't take away from. And they show that Wonder Woman is actually one of the more powerful Amazonians there is. Uh, and I and I can't wait to see, you know, more of her grow as a character and become stronger. Um, Steve Trevor does die in this movie, but then he comes back to 84 in the 84 film. So I could talk back on that later. But yeah, really this movie was to an extent perfect. If that finale just had a better instruction, like I said, watch the Nando V movies Aries video. I recommend you guys to check it out. And and I guarantee you that would have been the a phenomenal movie. This ending hurts it, and one of the things that I have always questioned is whether or not um, Wonder Woman was supposed to like stop being Wonder Woman after the death of Steve Trevor. I never understood that. Like, is she no longer Wonder Woman because of it? These timelines are super confusing, and I'm pretty sure like this is why I think the DC universe fails, and that is communicating with everybody else like, hey, I'm doing this, so just be careful when you use this character when they do this. And because sometimes some of the stuff that Wonder Woman does outside of this movie are kind of all over the place, and you'll see it more on her sequel and Justice League. And honestly, BVS, it made sense because it was just her trying to hide her identity. And I really love that inspiration and the story of uh Steve Trevor telling her like, oh, you could save today. Oh no, I'll save today, you could save tomorrow. And like, it's a very inspiring thing, even though he probably didn't say that. Wonder Woman has the illusion that he said that because that is what she should be doing. She's away from the Amazons. She's thankful for the work she's done there, but now she's ready to save her new world, and that is a beautiful way of telling a story and showing us what kind of a hero Wonder Woman is and what kind of a hero she would be down the road. So I truly love this movie. I could watch it day after day. Even with the clunky ass, messy finish, it is still very fun. And do I believe that it deserved to be the highest grossing movie of the summer that year? Absolutely. It was good to see something new. I bet like people went to go see it and like, yo, you gotta check out Wonder Woman. but DC's bad. No, no, no. I recommend you watch it. And that became a thing. I guarantee that was the reason why this movie became the highest grossing movie. They were shocked at the reviews, so they all wanted to check it out for themselves. And then they started telling people, and that's when people started to go back. And to be fair, some people always go back to the theaters, myself included. I didn't go back to watch this one, just because 2017 was a pretty stacked year for movies. In the summer, at least, so we have War of the Planet of the Apes, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Baby Driver. I'm one of the few people that went to the theaters to watch that. Uh, so yeah, Wonder Woman. What can I say that hasn't been said? This is a great movie, one of the best in the DCEU, one of the best DC movies ever, one of the best superhero movies ever. Whatever, insert title here. It's one of the ESTs of superhero movies. It's me, the ALE Double X Prince. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And until then, I'm out.